What's up, everybody? Welcome to Blow the Whistle, the place where we don't just talk about the game, we blow the whistle. If you're new here, let me set the tone. This is where sports, culture, and keeping it real collide. No hot takes just for clicks, no fake outrage, just honest opinions, laughs, and a whole lot of love for the game. This is a father and son armchair quarterbacking podcast. 2 generations, 1 mic, and 0 filter. We're not claiming to have all the answers, but we do have opinions. Sit back, lock in, and enjoy the conversation. And if something doesn't smell right, or if the take is a little too over the top, you already know what to do. Blow the whistle. Welcome to Blow the Whistle, the place where we don't just talk about the game, we blow the whistle on it. I'm Micah, joined by my dad, and today we're breaking down 2 games that told us a lot about college football. Ole Miss versus Miami, and Oregon versus Indiana. Not just what happened, but what it means. Who's real, who's living off reputation, and who made a statement the rest of the country needs to hear. Today's show is about answers. Miami got one, Indiana demanded one, and Oregon is just wash, rinse, and repeat, put back on the shelf. Let's start with the Miami and Ole Miss game. Did Miami prove they're back, or just prove they're dangerous this year? Miami won 31-27. Carson Beck was 23 of 37 for 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. His big moment was composure on the last drive for Miami. On the other side, Trinidad Chambliss was 23 for 37 as well for 277 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. This is what you come to expect from him. He picked it up in the second half. What impressed me wasn't the flash, it was what happened when Ole Miss made it uncomfortable. When the game tightened, Miami didn't rush. They didn't chase. They settled for what was giving. And I believe that's maturity, which is what you need to beat good teams. Dad, let me ask you this. When you watched the game, did Miami win, or did Ole Miss let it get away?
Miami won the game. And we knew this was going to be a good game from start to finish. It was a good defensive game. The first half of the game, it was really, really good. It was tight. But the second half, that's when all the fireworks. The fourth quarter in particular is probably the best fourth quarter in a very long time. Probably in the NCAA playoff history.
Yeah.
That fourth quarter was good. Miami's defense was good the first half. They didn't allow Ole Miss to do much of anything, and an interesting stat in this game was that Ole Miss only gained yards on first and second down.
Yeah,
they gained 0 yards on third down. So, but at the same time, that's pretty impressive. But the fact that you only put up yards on first and second down and score 27 points. Basically, first and second downs is pretty good. But that goes to show also that third down, not being able to generate any yards on third down, that hurts. That hurt really bad. So, did Miami win? Yeah, Miami won this game. Nothing flashy, but their defense hung tough. When you start talking about Carson Beck, again, Carson Beck wasn't that, he wasn't that impressive too much. Hey, look, let's take what the defense gives you. And hey, when those opportunities come, we'll exploit it. And that's what they did on the last play of the game, or their last possession. 18 seconds left. That's what Carson Beck did. Steady. Tried to find an open man, couldn't find anybody, saw a lane, he took it, scored, touchdown, is over. So, hands down, Miami won this game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think another important factor that led to Miami win was that they had the ball for 42 minutes. Ole Miss had it for 18, which credit to Ole Miss for making this game close with not even having the ball for a single half. But, Miami had the ball 42 minutes, and they ran it, they passed it. Every single time you blinked, it always felt like Miami always had the ball, and that's how they controlled the game.
Yeah, they did. And Miami, because of that time of possession, they were able to outgain in total yards 459 to Ole Miss 398. But again, to only have the ball for about what, a little over 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Ole Miss still put up 398 yards total offense. That's pretty good, and they did that on first and second downs, not third down. So, but at the same time, I don't want to, dismiss what Miami did. Miami won the game. It wasn't just given to them. They won the game. They controlled the clock. And so therefore they won. They were the better team on that day. So shout out Miami. Miami won.
Yeah. And Ole Miss, they pushed Miami, but Miami's like a tree. They bend, but they don't break. And
You mean a palm tree?
a palm tree.
Yeah. Trees do break. Palm trees. They bend, but palm trees.
You know what I'm saying.
Whipped right back.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, and that's a good way of describing Miami. They bend, don't break. But they are a palm tree, though. I will give that to them. They are a palm tree in that they will bend. The wind will whip them all day long, but guess what? They bounce right back. And that's what they did this game. But hey, that's what you need in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like, they did not panic or anything. They just stayed the course. They're like, okay, cool. And that fourth quarter, when Ole Miss scored, they went down and they scored. It was just a back and forth, but they did not blink. So, yeah, Miami won.
And do you believe Miami is back on top, like their glory days?
Good questions. Do I believe Ole Miss national prominency or just in the SEC? Not national prominency because they was never there in the first place.
No.
So, and don't get me wrong, I think Ole Miss, they were good this year. I mean, they didn't squeak by any wins or anything. They beat legit teams.
Yeah.
And they earned those wins. They beat ranked teams. They control games. They look like they belong. I mean, they had some heavyweight fights.
Oh yeah.
And they did, but look, I don't know about national prominence, so I'm just going to really focus on the SEC. I mean, for as long as I care to remember, Ole Miss has not been like a powerhouse in the SEC.
Yeah.
I remember when Eli Manning was there, they were pretty good, pretty decent, but in the SEC, being relevant in the SEC, that's currency. If you look at the Alabamas, you look at the LSUs and everything, and Ole Miss, I mean, just 1 year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just 1 year. So they weren't just spoilers, they were a problem. Physical defense, they had a confident quarterback, a team that knew who they were. So I got to give them credit to that. They had a nice season to look out. But at the same time, I got to pump the brakes. Next year, see, this is the thing that's just about college football teams now. Before the portal and before NIL, I would say, hey, look, these teams will have staying power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The problem with Ole Miss is, can they sustain it? And to be able to be able to sustain that, I mean, your quarterback is leaving next year. He was denied a 6th year. So he has to go into the draft. So, I mean, one strong year doesn't equal to a seat at the big table, and, your grandfather used to always tell me growing up, hey, man, if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu. That means you're getting eaten up.
Oh.
And so just because you have 1 year at the table, that does not mean, hey, you belong at the table. You get what I'm saying? I mean, the SEC, they don't just, hand out, year-long leases or anything. You have to earn that. Leases are renewed yearly and the SEC. And that's the thing. And again, with the portal and all of that, man, they have to retool. They have to find another quarterback if they don't have one on the roster. Not only that, hey, look, let's be honest. Lane Kiffin leaving is going to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to hurt. Not to mention the coaches that were actually coaching in this game. More than half of them are leaving and going to LSU. They were going back and forth, you know, from when Lane Kiffin left to the end of this game. So they were traveling back and forth. So look, man, can they reload? You know, because they can't afford to rebuild.
Yeah.
There's no more rebuilding in college football with the NIL and the portal.
Mm-mm.
It's about reloading. Now, that's the thing. Now, can you reload? Because the SEC, when you reload them with a good team, I mean, look out. Yeah. You know, and you have now teams like Texas who, I mean, if I'm being honest, next year, I mean, looking at the portal and all these players going into Texas right now, everything is year to year now, man.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give them like national prominency. I'm not doing that. But they were a good brand this year. But that's about it. I mean, national relevancy right now, but that's it. It's over. Now, next year, they got to come in and repeat that. Now, Miami. You don't remember, and I know I said this on the last podcast, you just do not remember when Miami was that dog. Now, from what I can see about Miami, that swag is back. And you know an interesting thing?
What?
You know when the U does this? You know what? I'm just learning that Michael Irvin started that. He started this right here, the U.
Really?
Yeah. So, hey, man, shout out to Michael Irvin. You know, hey.
Number 47.
Hey, you ain't lying, right? 47. And he gave a good story about that, too. Yeah. About he went into Coach Johnson's office when he was a freshman and said, hey, look, Coach, let's talk about this number 47. He's like, I would like to be number 7 because I can get you touchdown. And Jimmy Johnson told him, like, hey, Michael, you know what I see? Whenever you run in and you catch that ball and you bring it in end zone, you look like a big old 747 just gliding. And he's like, oh, yeah, Coach? Huh. Okay. I kind of like that. The way he told the story was really good. But, hey, shout out to Michael Irvin about that. But, no, man, I like the swag that I love it that Miami's back, man. I mean, it just brings me back to those 80s. The 80 years and the 90s and the Ed Reeds and the Ray Lewis. But even before that, man, the Michael Irvin days, man. Yeah. Are they back? I think now, again, we talk about the portal. We talk about NIL. Miami has now put themselves back on the map. Now I think that you're going to have a lot of players now considering Miami. Oh, yeah. And on top of that, wow, just being honest, what team wouldn't want to go play in Miami? Miami's a nice spot, man. I mean, and I get Miami's a private school, but look, man, Miami's a nice spot to go play. So are they back? That remains to be seen. But right now, I'm going to pretend and act like they are back because I see that swag. And again, I love how you see Michael Irvin on the sideline, Edgerrin James, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. You see all the greats, Jimmy Johnson on the sideline.
Yeah.
You see Greg Olsen on the sideline. Man, that's exciting. And the most exciting thing is whenever they win, Michael Irvin taking off his belt.
Yep. Put that jersey on the trash bin.
BTA. I kind of like that because that team and their coach have embraced everything about the University of Miami football.
Yeah.
And past and present and future. So I do like that about Miami. So are they back? We're going to see.
Yeah, and wasn't born, but the Miami's defense, they look like 2002 defense was playing like. What I heard, because you had Ed Reed, Ray Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
You even had Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which I know he wasn't good, but like still. But yeah, I feel like they're back, and with NIL and all this other stuff, they'll bring a lot of people, a lot of good people, a lot of 5 stars back to their team, and they could probably come back to the national championship. You know, if they find the right quarterback, and they can replace a lot of these good players. So yeah, and this win changes Miami's posture nationally and can well put them back on top. So you could say Miami is flashy and cocky, but they showed composure in this game. And speaking of teams who are flashy and well lacking composure, let's talk Oregon. All right, let's talk about Oregon and Indiana. Final score: Indiana wins. Let that marinate because that wasn't a fluke. This was pressure meeting reputation, and reputation tapping out. Oregon came in looking the part, fast, flashy, fancy, all dressed up. But when the lights got bright and the game got heavy, Oregon folded like a lawn chair at a family reunion. Now Indiana didn't blink. They didn't rush the moment. They didn't play scared. They played like they've already been there, even though history says otherwise. This is what we keep saying about Oregon. They win the games they're supposed to win until they're supposed to prove something. And now Indiana, they didn't ask for respect. They took it. They didn't borrow confidence. They brought their own. Cool uniforms don't make stops. Oregon showed up casting the image. Indiana showed up executing the job. And style points, they don't travel in January. Indiana dominated Oregon 55-22. Fernando Mendoza, 17 for 20, 177 yards, 5 touchdowns. Dante Moore, 24-39, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Total yards, Indiana 362, Oregon 378. But don't let the stats fool you. This game wasn't even close.
Sure wasn't.
So, Dad, you've watched Oregon for years, and it seems this is a recurring theme with them. Did Oregon choke, or did Indiana take this game?
Oregon choked. But even if Oregon didn't choke, Indiana would have beat Oregon, period.
Yeah.
I mean, you going in, you knew Indiana was going to win this. They were the most complete team. But, Micah, that question sounds good, but it's too late when you start talking about Oregon. I mean, if you watch Oregon long enough, you already know the ending to this movie.
Yeah.
You do. I mean, this wasn't a choke. This was Oregon's brand when it comes to football. This is on par with Oregon, man. Indiana didn't just get lucky. Man, if you stay long enough and watch Oregon, Oregon is going to be Oregon. This is what Oregon does.
Yeah, and Oregon last year, they got blown up again by Ohio State. And the last time they went to the playoffs, besides 2025 and 2024, was 2014, when they had Marcus Mariota. And this is what I got to say about Oregon. Oregon, thinking they wearing Prada, and they showing everyone like, oh, we wearing that Prada. In reality, they wearing Temu. $5 shirts, $5 pants, straight off of Temu. And I don't know what else to say about Oregon.
I'm with you on that. They look good. They wear the top stuff, Nike. Every time you look up, if you can win a national championship on uniforms alone, they win every year.
Yeah.
The speed on TV, they look good. The uniforms glowing in the dark and all that stuff, man. It looks good. But that's it about Oregon. And constantly, they are put up at the top every year. is always something. Oregon is fast when the road is open and they by themselves.
Yeah.
But you put somebody in some competition on that road with them, oh my goodness, man, they immediately jump off the freeway onto the feeder road. I'm serious, man. It's like, hey, they run well in September, October, but they fold like laundry, man. Every December and January. It never fails. Different coach, same results.
Yeah.
Different quarterback, same results. It is literally the same ending. And this is not just coincidence. I honestly believe this is Oregon's culture. If I'm being honest, I think it's their culture. I don't know what it is because they pull in recruits.
Yeah.
Think about it. The owner of Nike is an Oregon alum. Everything about the University of Oregon literally is sponsored and ran by Nike. Phil Knight loves Nike. Go look at the history of Phil Knight with Oregon. He went to school there. So NIL is not a problem for Oregon.
Mm-mm.
The portal is not a problem for Oregon. I'm not for sure what it is about Oregon that just there. You would think Oregon would be on speed with the Alabamas, with the LSUs, with Texas. You would think that they would be up there all the time. And not just up there, but I mean literally being competitive. It just seemed like every time they get in these playoffs or when it comes to a bowl game that means anything, they just get whipped.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard you want to root for them, but again, if they got a seat at the table and if people believe Oregon has a seat at the table, it must be a folding chair.
Yeah.
It must be a folding chair.
Yeah.
I'm serious because it folds.
And it folds very easily.
Now, Indiana. I mean, I knew Indiana was going to win. But I didn't think Indiana was going to beat them this bad.
No. No, I thought it was going to be a better game.
But it wasn't shocking. So, you know.
So Indiana didn't play like the underdog. They played like they were grown-ups in the park, going up against little children. They slowed the game down, finished drives, and they didn't even ask for permission. And again, Oregon did not show up. For this very important game, they didn't show up.
It didn't.
So, Dad, did Indiana announce themselves to the world, or is this a one-off? Is this the start of something new for Indiana?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, when you think Indiana, you think basketball, but football, this is the first time in my lifetime I've ever seen Indiana this good in football. I mean, this convincing in football. I mean, I think Randall L. is the only football player I remember coming out of Indiana. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other players that came out, but yeah, I mean, Indiana, they for real. I think Indiana, when you look at them, I think this is the closest I've seen to an Alabama, Nick Saban type of team. And so, yeah, I think that they were good. I think what was so impressive about this game was that Indiana turned a game that I believe Oregon wanted. Oregon wanted a track meet.
Yeah.
Indiana turned it into a chess match. And Oregon did not like the board at all.
No.
You know what I mean? So I think Indiana forced Oregon to play their game.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see Indiana's defense? They did not give Dante Moore no time. He was rushed the whole game. Prime example. First half. Through an out route, pick six.
And that was the first play of the game.
First play. Because if you look at it, the pressure that he was under right then, I mean, so they played discipline. There was no, I mean, limited that their penalties. They took care of the ball. I mean, they didn't give Oregon a short field at all in this game. Oregon had to literally march down the field. So no, man, I honestly, I like what, Indiana's doing. And I will say this. I know I said with Miami, the NIL and the portal, for whatever reason, it seemed, and I'm not for sure if it's just the coach, Indiana's coach who was under Nick Saban. I don't know if it's because he comes across a little bit more of that disciplined Saban style football.
Yeah.
Where he's able to use NIL and the portal to his advantage, or to get the right players. Because keep in mind, I mean, I just heard Fernando Mendoza, give an interview and said, look, we don't have now one 5-star recruit on this team. Not one.
Man.
So that tells me that has to do with coaching, and that this coach knows how to identify talent that should be 5-star.
Yeah.
That wasn't. Because if I'm looking at Mendoza, the way he's played this year, I would have thought he was a 5-star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, if you look at, if I pull up Indiana's schedule, Indiana had this wasn't a cakewalk. So, I mean, is this a one-off? I don't know. But you beat a number 9 Illinois team 63-10. You beat Oregon earlier in the season.
Yeah.
By 10. That's convincing. In Oregon. Then what? You go down to and beat number 1 Ohio State.
In Indiana.
I mean, regardless of where it was, you beat them 13-10.
Yeah.
That was for the conference. You beat them. And then you go the first round, you play Alabama, who's number 9. You mollywop them. 38-3. Complete embarrassment for Alabama. Complete embarrassment. Roll Tide looked like they just rolled over, if you ask me. And now you literally took number 5 Oregon. And this is what I'm talking about with Oregon. Oregon had no business being number 5.
No.
A number 5 team do not lose 56-22. But then again, I could say the same thing about Alabama.
Yeah.
Losing. So I'm not for sure if Indiana's here to stay or whatnot, but listen, this year, this could literally be one of those historic years for a college team like Indiana. Like that LSU team. I mean, more about that LSU team that they're being compared to denied.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Indiana, I like to compare them to 2019 LSU. Both went undefeated. LSU did win the national championship, and Indiana is the most complete team this season.
Yes.
And in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman, he playing like he's Tom Brady. The defense playing like 2002 Miami defense, or whatever defense you want to say. They just always know when to execute, where to execute, and how to do it. They play every single level of football. Kurt Signetti found some real stars. I mean, Fernando Mendoza was at Cal for 3 years. And
he did.
They just look like 2016 LSU. Now, granted, 2019 LSU They had Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Essentially, their whole team went to the pros. Now, if they started or not, that's another question. But regardless, Indiana's number one, 15-0, and they have no 5-star. Their starting wide receiver went to James Madison University. Your quarterback went from Cal. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And that also shows Kurt Signetti finding all these stars and talents when they should be 5-stars.
And he found this in the portal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why it leads me to believe that I think, and he just signed an extension, so I think he's able to find these gems, and I think that this is going to open up, the floodgates for him.
Yeah.
With players. Now, again, I'm not delusional. I think 5-star players are still going to want to go to the LSUs, the Texas A&M, those big schools, the Ohio State. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe I mentioned them. I just hope they just stop going to Alabama, if I'm being truthful. And Miami's back up there.
Yeah,
they're gonna get that. So, I'm with you on that. So, this was kind of like what I expected. I didn't think it was going to be 56-22.
No.
I didn't expect that. I knew that they were going to win, but again, it's not surprising because why? It's Oregon.
Yeah.
And so, if you ever go to Oregon, I'm going to tell you what happens in Oregon a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly raining in Oregon. That's all. Oregon, rarely do you have like sunny days or sunny weeks and months like here, in Texas. It rains a lot.
Mm.
It's very depressing. So I guess I can understand why Oregon folds all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's constantly raining. But you got to fold the tent when it's constantly raining, man, and go inside. And that's exactly what they did this game. They folded, they left the stadium and went inside.
Yeah.
Because Indiana was putting too much thunder on them.
Oh, yeah.
Too much rain, if I'm being honest. They gave up. I'm not going to lie, man.
Yeah.
It's like they just gave up. And to be truthful with you, if I'm being real honest with you, I honestly think Indiana kind of gave them half of those 22 points.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm serious. It was like Indiana's like, man, this game is over. We don't need it. Come on, coach. Loosen up.
Yeah. It was 35-7 at halftime. They were playing. Indiana was playing that swag and surf. Fernando's like, wow, don't put me back in the game.
And I was surprised that they kept him in the game. And I get it. It's probably his last bowl game, but I honestly thought they were going to put his brother in for a while.
Yeah. And he's the runner-up, the next to be quarterback. So we'll see how he plays.
Yeah. So if I'm going by Fernando, he was saying that his brother's better than him.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, hey, maybe Indiana keep this thing going. I don't know if, let's first see the results of, next week at this next game. If they actually win the national title, because they're playing Miami.
Yeah.
Now, this ain't gonna be Oregon now. Mm-mm. That's for sure. Not Oregon. They're going to come up and face a team with a bat. Jimmy Johnson always said, when you have a big old gorilla, you know what I'm saying? You bust the gorilla in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You take a big 2x4 and you smack him in the mouth. So, we'll see. But if I'm being honest, I think it's going to be a competitive game, but Indiana should win this game.
Yeah.
So no shade on Miami or anything like that. But if Miami wins, hey, Miami wins, good. But I will say I think this will be a big disappointment if Indiana don't win this game.
Yeah. So when you strip away the hype, the uniforms, and the preseason expectations, this game came down to something simple. Indiana executed, Oregon hesitated. One team trusted what they were doing, the other kept waiting for the moment to feel comfortable. And in big games, comfort doesn't show up late. Preparation does. And that's the whistle. Big moments don't lie. They expose who's built for the spotlight and who's just dressed for it. Indiana made a statement. Miami made it interesting. And that's playoff football. If you didn't like the takes, that's fine. Blow the whistle on us. We're here for the real ones, not the easy ones. Next episode, we flip the page to the NFL playoffs. Pressure quarterbacks, dangerous teams, and who's about the January life. Same energy, bigger stakes, cooler than the other side of the pillow. We're out.